the biggest question most people would be asking right now is what happens if the court rules against Cytonn?
Okay, I'm going to answer that question in kind of a crude way. Lynn, if somebody went to court and said, and if somebody said Lynn is a man, that's the accusation in court. Then you went to court and said, no, I'm not a man, I'm a lady.
I'm not a man.
Yeah, I'm a lady. Would you be worried about the outcome of that litigation?
Absolutely not.
The outcome is certain. Those are the issues we are litigating, and I've given you the first example. The letter we got from the authority on December 23rd could not have been procedural. There's no way an agency can write you a letter on the 23rd of December, not any other month, 23rd of December, and tell you, get a new trustee by January 1st. 3 business days. It's humanly impossible. So when you read such a letter, you're like, even the craziest judge can never find that this letter is procedural. So when we then face the authority and say, please take away your letter, because we don't go to court until we have engaged to the very last moment. The truth is, even when we went to court and got our court orders, we kept it in our back pocket and continued to engage the authority until December 31st at 2 p.m. Our lawyer was just seated at the lobby hanging around. When they were about to close their doors and when negotiations had failed, that's when we served them the order. So when we are in court, it's for issues where you feel even the most unfair judge could not have agreed that that letter was procedural. And as you could see, it was set aside. The next issue we are in court with, Lynn, you're a journalist, you're not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Go read that provision and ask yourself, could this have applied to this fund that CMA was applying it to? It is impossible. There's no way any judge, and I won't go too much into the details because the matter is in court, but I'll discuss the policy issues. There's no way anybody can conclude that the Cytonn High Yield Fund, that the trustee, National Bank, that the fund manager, Cytonn Asset Managers, and the custodian, SBM Bank, those 3 cannot be related. That's why I use the crude example of male and female. Certain things are so black and white. So the issue, when you really look at it, the issue before the court, are these 3 people related? There's no reason why we should be in court. That's why sometimes it looks very suspicious. I'm like, okay, for us to be in court on this matter, maybe somebody wants to paint us as you said at the beginning, in and out of court. Of course, it hurts our products in the short term. But in the long term, people will get to know that this was just malicious. Just like the cases when we started. You know, when you start, the waters are muddied. People could think there's something. It took us, we started the brand in 2014. So 2015, 2016, 2017, it took us 4 years to get a judgment from the High Court that ordered our previous employer to produce the so-called audits. They've not produced them. Of course, somebody who was then wondering whether there had been theft or not will now conclude, surely, if there's been theft and you have an audit, of course you'll be circulating the audit. Yeah, see what these guys did. We, the accused, went to court and asked that, Judge, please compel them to show the public this theft they are talking about. We have a court order and it has not been obeyed. So in the fullness of time, that particular issue has sorted itself out. The same with the litigation on the trustee matter. It will surely be the same outcome with this issue as to whether Regulation 16.2 applies to us. So as to the outcome of the litigation, it doesn't bother me at all.
You're not worried?
Not worried at all. What worries me, Lynn, is if there is actual theft of client funds, that would worry me. It's never happened at Cytonn. If a project went bust, the title is wrong, the structure is comes crumbling down, or the product cannot sell, that would worry me. Those are the 2 things that worry me about client money. Theft and the underlying supporting commercial activity, which is real estate, going bust. As long as our projects are still selling, and all of them are selling, and as long as our investors' funds are safe, this is noise. It will hurt us for the short term, for sure. The people who are pushing for these sensational headlines, they know that it causes uncertainty in the mind of investors. It causes us to be focused on trying to manage social media noises, trying to manage investor uncertainties, but that will come to pass. The underlying strategy is sound. We think we've given the Kenyan investor a compelling alternative to the banking alternative, and in the fullness of time, everything finds its place, and we think this is a compelling strategy for investors to lend directly to the user of capital and structure out an intermediary. And nothing wrong with going through that intermediary. We're just saying, here are two choices, decide which one you want. Yeah.